And welcome to Montgomery, Alabama for Turbo's National Game of the Week in the NAIA. You're in the right spot. There's just one problem. The women's game is going into overtime, tied at 1-1. That's the first leg of this alumni weekend doubleheader, and the first game has yet to conclude. So stick with us, and as soon as this game is over, we'll have the men's game for you. But until then, we will wait and see what happens in the women's game. But we'll have two 10-minute overtimes. Golden Goal wins it. If those 10-minute overtimes conclude without a goal, it'll end in a 1-1 draw. But that's what's going on right here from Montgomery. But we're gonna take a break and watch for the end here, whether it be on the clock or via the Golden Goal. And overtime, number 1 complete from Montgomery as the women the women need to finish their game before we can begin the men's portion of the doubleheader here in Alumni Weekend here at AUM. First overtime in the books. Got 10 more minutes of overtime about to come with a 2-minute break in between then, so we should be getting underway in the men's game in about 15 minutes, give or take. So stick with us here as the women still waiting for a winner, but there may not be one after the end of the second overtime. So one more overtime to go. At the longest, it'll be 15 minutes. Well, the women's game's over. A golden goal scored by Mobile ends the game with about 7 minutes to spare, and, well, that means the men will get started a little earlier than what we had originally thought because golden goal ended the game, and they will warm up for about 10 minutes. They had been warming up on the field adjacent to the game field, so they only need 10 minutes of warm-up time. We'll be bringing you the pregame coverage in about 5 minutes as they warm up right now and should be playing within 10 minutes here on the Turbo National Game of the Week on NSCAA.TV. Well, finally, good afternoon and welcome to the 2013 National Men's Soccer Game of the Week presented by the NSCAA and Admiral Soccer. Tonight's spotlight includes the University of Mobile versus Auburn-Montgomery, live on NSCAATV.com from the AUM Soccer Complex in Montgomery. Auburn and Mobile, 2 hours separating them physically, but at least on paper the records looks like AUM is a little bit further along than Mobile, but records don't say a whole lot. We'll talk a whole bunch about it here in the pregame. I'm Rob Greisinger here alongside Matt Mahoney. We've got two teams that are in the, well, one was in the top 25 of the coaches poll in the NAIA before falling out of it. They were actually number one at one point, and they fell out of the one seed for the first time as a one seed falling out of the top 25 in the same season since 2008 versus AUM, who has been cruising right along in SSAC play, going undefeated 6-0, while Mobile going 4-3. Overall, though, Mobile has a 7-5 record. And Matt, we were talking beforehand, and people around the conference just don't know what it is that is causing all these problems for Mobile and the Rams.
It might have something to do with the fact they're in the Southern States Athletic Conference. The SSAC, probably some people around here might call it the Super Soccer Athletic Conference. These teams are stacked. Most teams at any other conference in the top 25 competitively, it just week in and week out, it is a grind in this conference. So it may not be Mobile's fault, and maybe the rest of the conference is just as good as Mobile.
Well, AUM and Mobile, they're also just this fixture in general is very close. While AUM has won 6, Mobile has won 5. So if Mobile can pull one out today, each team will have won 6 out of at least the fixture in the last 10 years. And looking at the highlights here, nobody's really dominated it. Most that a team has won in a row is 3, and that was from 2004 to 2006. So this is very evenly matched, much like that women's game that kept us from coming on the air earlier or as scheduled. And, well, they got that extra little, that beginning of their warm-up time on a different field. Now they're on this field that even though it is raining, or it has rained here this afternoon, it's been on and off all day, but regardless of that, it's pretty dry, pretty smooth, and fast. So don't expect to see it affect too much. If it does start to rain again, that's when you might expect to see it affect anything, but this is Bermuda grass, and it absorbs water almost to perfection, almost like a sponge. And we'll bring you the starting lineups momentarily, and as the wind picks up, we're also dealing with that slight breeze. It's knocked the temperature down just a little cooler. Some of the note that there are a lot of internationals on these two rosters. Actually, more internationals than there are Americans. And most of them are from Alabama, so nothing that they're not used to. But point out that a couple guys from Mobile are from England, used to the rain and the dampness as well. Got one from Ireland as well, 2 from Ireland, excuse me. And then for Montgomery, got 9 Germans on the team with a German coach who is going for win number 200 in the NAIA. William Koch goes by Wolf. It's in his 7th season, his 5th different school in the NAIA. Actually coached the women's team here at Auburn-Montgomery for a little bit before taking the helm of the men's team, and he's won 88 games, 88. Thought it was 87 at one point. Then I remembered 88. So he's going for win number 89 today, almost closing in on 100 here as the head coach of the Warhawks, as they are known. Not quite the War Eagles, but or the War Eagles from Auburn just up the road. They are affiliated, sort of similar to a branch campus situation. All the funding comes separately, and check that. The funding is united. They have their own president, board of trustees, and as such. So Auburn-Montgomery has the affiliation. Mobile does not, but they do have a pretty successful program on their own with a runner-up in the national championship that was held, well, not up the road here. We can see where they lost the national championship last week, and it will be, well, last year, I should say. The national championship held up the road here, or a ball's kick away. You can see it literally, and that's where this year's national championship will be held, right here in Montgomery. But the tournament, competitive as always, as you said, Matt. So, about ready to start at any moment. The clock has expired. The warm-up period is over. Now it'll be the last little moment where the coaches will have their last say without the run of play. That's one of the things about soccer. There are no timeouts. So what you start out with is what you got. You can make changes, but you can't gather the whole team up until halftime. Almost got sprayed there a little bit. Got it under a tent, got some water on it, and, well, tell you what, I'd rather have the tent than not have it and use an old-fashioned umbrella. Got that too, but Scott, our cameraman, good luck staying dry up there. If I know he can't hear us, but also, Matt, you had mentioned before, almost forgot about one of the bigger keys to this is how physical AUM plays.
AUM is big and strong. A German coach, German player. They're going to play a very European, German style of play. Big center backs, big strikers. That is their forte. That's what they've won the last 7 games in a row here. Big, strong, and physical. Mobile is looking for answers this season. Very inconsistent play. They haven't really stubbed their toe. They've tripped and fallen on their face a couple of times already this season. How does Mobile deal with that adversity here, having just lost their last previous game versus Faulkner? Kind of an eye-opener there. But how do they respond well? And I think what determines this game, Rob, is the adjustments to the referee. The referee is not going to dictate the winner and the loser of this game, but the referee can most certainly control tempo and how this game is played. If Mobile is able to play physical the way they want to, Mobile is going to have to adjust. If the referee calls a tight whistle, and there's a lot of fouls on Mobile's side, or excuse me, on Auburn-Montgomery side, then Mobile may have the advantage. Who makes the adjustments with how this game is going to be called? Again, Auburn-Montgomery wants to play physical. Mobile's going to have to find that answer on top of some of the answers they already can't find internally.
Well, that's probably the biggest key of the game. There's also guys you got to keep an eye on for both sides, and AUM with Nicholas Hunhold and Tim Kaiser. Those are 2 important midfield links, and also for AUM, still 2 guys that, well, they score the goals. Gaten Messiah and Nassim Ayati. Those 2 are tied for the team lead. In goals, that's the players' side of things. As an official myself, I would say that you got to get used to how the players play too. So early on, it might be chippy, but you just got to settle in. And, well, for AUM, they want to put on a show for their alumni here on Alumni Day with this doubleheader. The women had a very unlucky break to let a goal in that they very well could have cleared off the line, but it was just a bad bounce. So first half, the doubleheader didn't go AUM's way, went Mobile's way, as both teams have made the trip up I-65. And, well, we're just waiting for it to start as the officials have taken the field and are going to start the traditional international ceremony where the officials are in the middle and the 2 teams in parallel lines walk up the midway line. So, see if we have a national anthem, too, as well. Sometimes in a doubleheader, they'll skip it for the second game. So the officiating crew will switch up a little bit from the women's game, and then, so in other words, that the referee from the first game will move to the middle of the, well, one of the actual will move to the sideline to the linesman position, while one of the linesmen goes into the middle with the 3 officiating crew. Sometimes you see 4, but that's just one less person they have to pay. So handshake is going on with coin toss of who will kick, which direction will they go. And again, got to see what Mobile can do if they can respond to all the adversity they've had, while AUM can continue their 5-game winning streak, all of it coming in conference play, as that should do it with the warm-ups just about ready to get everything underway with starting lineups, etc. Starting 11s will be out momentarily, as the whole team looks like is going to come out, or there's just not that many subs. Hard to tell. I've got the line. We're at field level. Camera's a little higher, but tell you what, Scott's got the better view up there, but take the sideline view as officials had their meeting, and there's that look. All you need is the up-close shot, but we don't have that wireless capability that they have up at the highest levels in Europe, or here in America for that matter. So the starting lineup for Mobile is being announced right now. Of course, starting with the goalkeeper. It's the one who's played almost every minute for them. Just a few stray ones in there that are not played by Xavier Ottergon. A junior has played 1,100 minutes, well over that actually, 1,101 and a half. And Pierre Mangold will start as well. We got Jabril Lawwell, Gayton Messiah, Luis Estevez, Gunnar Steindorsen, Clifford Newtform, Asim Ayati, as we had mentioned, and Paul Bugrat. That's for the Rams, and for the Warhawks, it will be anchored by Vignor Johansson from Iceland. He'll be in goal for the Warhawks, and Tyan Souza, the senior defender, he'll be getting another start number 13. Tim Kaiser will also start, along with Nicholas Hunold and Sebastian Vladko, Cesar Castring, Christian Holthaus, Elvar Sigurdsson, as well as Alan Harwell and Mattis Kroger. And rounding out the starting 11s, for Auburn, it's Vitor Silva. So the two teams are going to go through the typical ceremonial handshake. Still waiting to see which side these teams will take, and it appears that the team in the dark red, or the burgundy, that's Mobile. They'll be attacking the goal to the right, while the home team in white with those orange stripes, orange letters, they will be attacking the goal to the left to start off here in the first half from AUM Soccer Complex, and the captains going through their meetings, both goalkeepers in there as well. There's that toss. And while they do that, we're going to take a little break here, catch up and get settled in for what should be a good game here in Alabama.
I had a dream, a beautiful dream. I couldn't believe how real it seemed. Up on stage, in a field of green, on the winding river, and a song you'll sing. When I wake up, I'll see you here in Montgomery, where dreams come true. Tra la la, tra la, tra la, pleasure.
Well, as the opening kick will begin, we'd like to thank our official hotel sponsor of the National Game of the Week broadcast on NSCAA TV, the Holiday Inn Express of Montgomery, Alabama, located at East Chase Parkway. This wonderful hotel property is located just a few minutes away from Auburn-Montgomery and is great stops for opponents, away teams, fans, and families traveling to the area. You need a place to stay, and that's all season long. And also during this year's NAIA Men's National Championship, just a ball's kick away from us. To book a reservation, contact the Holiday Inn Express at 334-271-5516. Again, that's 334-271-5516. Or online at holidayinexpress.com/Montgomery East. So we're underway, and the kick belonged to AUM, but Mobile take control off of an early ball out of play. Here in the first minute, as that sun is actually trying to poke its way through the clouds here. First time we've seen it all day here in Montgomery. And we'll see which team will try to establish possession early, or will it be just a matter of bad bounces? Who's going to control the tempo early? Will it be the Rams or the Warhawks? So tempted to say War Eagles. It's the thought of Auburn, Matt, it's just so hard to get it out of your head. Play up forward, and it's cleared away by Kroger. It's wearing 18, usually wearing 16. Left back is the one who got on the end of that, and now it'll be AUM with a chance to counterattack. Down the far near side touchline is Sigurdsson. Somehow keeps it in. He'll off the cross in there, off the foot of Harwell, and it's over the byline goal kick, last touch by him.
Rob, I think what's important to remember here in this game is Mobile maybe down in this season, up and down, roller coaster of a season already. Auburn-Montgomery playing very well right now, and it's been Mobile that's had the Warhawks number the last 2 years in a regular season with lopsided victory. So more than just on the line here in the Southern States Athletic Conference and conference standings, perhaps a little bit of revenge on the minds of the Warhawks here tonight as well.
So the corner coming from the far corner. First one of the match belongs to the Warhawks. This referee's got to talk a little bit, too.
I like this already here. Referee stopping play. We're afraid things could get chippy in this contest. And again, referee can dictate a game without giving yellow cards. And so he's done that here with just an early warning.
Flicked on there by a IUM head. It looked like it was Castring. Tried to flick it on. Didn't get much of the ball. However, it's still coming out, and here's a long ball that's nowhere near the intended target, and it's a goal kick for the Rams. Come in 7-5. Last played on Thursday against Faulkner, losing that game 1-0 in a 58th minute goal given up. So it's just a matter of finding a comfort zone, but really it's just unknown really what's wrong with Mobile right now. It's maybe just a spring of bad luck and get hot towards the tournament, and they can turn that around here as that run is quelled there by one of the captains, Nicholas Hunold. One of those Germans. Sigurdsson now, the junior. Going to make another run down the near touchline. Gets shoved off of it by Mangold, and Pierre Mangold wins it legally, the right back on the near side. Now, trying to link up with Ayati, and he doesn't quite trap it like he wants. Tried to flick it forward, just redirected on down for a run, and AUM clears it away, and a long ball's up forward, and it's no problem for Ottergon. So he'll punt one high in the air. Comes down towards Ayati. Didn't get the direction he wanted on there, and it comes to the feet of Silva. Sigurdsson now, he's going to be a handful if he keeps making runs here early. Going to tire out Mangold, the fullback for the Rams. Vladko. Now another 50-50 ball, and a cross comes away. And some physical play right in front of us, as it looked like two guys going for the same space. Foul is called against the Rams, and that's on Steinderson from Iceland. Started every game and has 3 assists. 6'2" midfielder, just too much for Kroger to handle. So it'll be a free kick for the Warhawks. Souza to take it with his right foot, lofts it high, got some backspin on it. It comes down, and lifting off there is Lalo. Now Sigurdsson and Mangold go after it, and both players give up on it after it had too much roll on it, and it'll roll out for a goal kick.
Good sign for Auburn-Montgomery already, getting some set pieces, getting their offense set here. Again, they're going to possess things, methodically move the ball up the pitch. If they get set pieces, that's where they're going to use their size and their strength to try to put the ball in the back of the net. Also a good sign here for Mobile is Dolan's already got some touches, and now here's another one in the attacking half for Steindorfson here, as Mobile's able to get the ball at their feet at the attacking third of the field and stay on their feet. The Warhawks are going to breathe right down their neck. When you receive the ball from Mobile with your back to the goal, expect a cleat right in the back of your heel immediately. Let them know you're there.
And those do hurt, contrary to some of the anti-soccer people around this country that somehow think that metal to bare skin doesn't hurt and like to take one and smack them with it and tell me how much it hurts. Get that magic spray and they'll have an idea. But Steindorfson's crossing knew it looked like a shot that just sailed on him that he leaned back on a little too much, and now Mobile with it in the middle of the park. And, that one was a lot closer than originally thought, coming off the boot. And, Dolan just didn't get the right curl on it, and it went out far post. Thought it may have crossed near post, but looks can be deceiving.
Tip your hat to Johannesson, though. He's a veteran goalkeeper. He knows his post. He's played at this field countless times here, so he knows exactly where he's standing on every blade of grass at every given moment. It might have looked close, but to Johannesson, it never had a threat of going in.
It's one of the unique things about being at field level. You just don't. Depth is sometimes not quite as what you might think it is. And that's why I keep saying Scott's got the better view than we do. But it's also unique to sit at field level. It's a whole different perspective. These high balls that you see right there, not quite as high as I think. Here comes a cross in, and trying to link up with Steindorsen again, and it's knocked out. Last touch by the Warhawks.
Great job by Kroger there, being goal side of his man that swings it on the back door there, literally doing your job as keeps the ball to the net here.
Sophomore getting just his second start. Was a last-minute change, also wearing a different number, usually 16, wearing 18, if you're just joining us. Corner kick coming from Messiah, near side. His left foot will drop it in there. It's a high dipper that dips into the gloves of the goalkeeper, and the first touch for Vinor Janssen is an easy corner that was directly at him, really.
If Mobile's able to score off a set piece or a corner kick here this afternoon, they should get 2 goals for it because the size of Auburn-Montgomery is not going to allow that. Their experience underneath the post is going to be very difficult. Mobile's going to have to score with these little 1-2 punches you see coming from the outside to their target man and Dolan toward their center striker. 1-2 punches right there, because if you hold that ball, that Warhawks defense can be right on top of you. So far, Mobile's had some success just as much as the Warhawks have here.
Estefez in the middle. Finds Nuchfam. Steindorsen. So they slow it down just a little bit, trying to regain that form that they had to get early chances.
That's a good point too, Rob. I want to bring this to our viewers' attention here. From what I understand, from what I hear from other coaches in the area and around the NAI, this already what I've seen here in the first 10 minutes of play is a different Rams team than what I've been told I was going to see here. So tab this one up for one of Mobile's best efforts already this season of an up-and-down year. They have come ready to play here in conference play against a down-the-road rival type situation here. They want to continue that supreme dominance in the regular season as the SSAC regular season champions last year and national tournament runner-ups.
And we have a Ram that's shaken up. Paul Bugrat, the freshman, is making his third start, his fourth appearance, and he's going to have to walk it off on the bench as that he's limping, but hard to tell exactly what happened. The Frenchman will sit down, try to shake that off, get some attention from the trainer.
Mobile get an injury sub here. No need to check in, just gets to come right on the pitch. First man step on the game for Mobile here.
And replace him is Tordowich. He's a Mobile native.
Might have something to do with Montgomery. Maybe Mobile plays very well in Montgomery with that national tournament literally being across the street over there. They like it here at AMU's campus, or AUM's campus, I should say. They like it at the NAI national tournament, making a run last year. So already kudos to the Rams for not letting what's affected you in the past, or presently the loss this past week to Faulkner, to a game here today.
Turnover, Ayati stripped it. Now he's got a runner alongside, and the shot is right at the goalkeeper. Dolan, going to have to shoot to the side of the goalkeeper, not right at his chest.
And for Wolf, having a goalkeeper like Johannesson underneath the post is just the ultimate compliment for your defense. That's big and strong and physical. If you're lucky enough to get past the first wave of defense and maybe even the second wave of defense, you've got to pass the ultimate toll in trying to get it past one of the best goalkeepers in the NAI.
Well, a counter from AUM doesn't have much juice on it, and back to the other way, down to the right we go. Messiah got tangled up there in the back, and AUM will control it.
all nicknames aside here, Messiah can absolutely crank it from anywhere on the field. He is not afraid to pull that trigger from 30 and 35 yards out, even to test Johannesson, who has a proven track record.
And there was a little tangle up on the far side right in front of the Ram bench.
I think that's a scouting report foul there, if I'm not mistaken, Rob. Mobile knows that AUM wants to play physical, and so it's like instead of bowing down to the bully, you go toe-to-toe with the bully. You push the bully right in the chest and say, what are you made of here today?
There's going to be a lot of that here today. Here's Sigurdsson. He gets a push in the back as he delivers it to the fullback. Kroger, now it's Sigurdsson again, and his cross is blocked and knocked down over the byline by Steindorsen, and it'll be a corner for the Warhawks as that sun starting to poke out again. It's trying to just stay out here all day, but early part of the women's game saw a lot of rain.
Love the play there by Kroger and Sergensen. They know they're deep in the territory. Just get a corner kick, and this is where the offense can flourish.
Another left-footed corner going to come in here. And it's low and headed away. There by Lawal from Lagos, Nigeria.
Only reason that saved the goal is a diving header on Hiv effort. He is a small center back, but he makes up it with intensity and effort. Fantastic play.
You mentioned it. Small for a center back, 5'7".
I think that's embellishing.
Yeah. He looks smaller than that compared to all the guys on there.
I mean, he's standing next to Luis Estevez there, and Estevez is 6'2". You tell me who's tall. Who's 6'2" and who's 5'5" in that group?
Sigurdsson in traffic, and his shot is blocked into the back of guess who? Lawal.
I'll give you a better one there. Sigurdsson, who just shot that 6 foot tall. There's no way he is 5-6 inches taller than a little man Lala.
Well, they must have been generous. They must have had him on cleats on cement.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody does it.
Yeah, that's how tall I am.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind getting that extra inch.
You got some big boots there.
Yeah. Well, another corner near side. Third one already for AUM. Second one from this side. Loose ball in front, and that trickled and pinged and ponged across a couple Ram bodies, still in the box. And the cross is knocked away, still there, however, as Ulhaz tried to turn and shoot, trying to find somebody, and there's a foul in the box, and we'll head the other way.
Yeah, the second cross that came up there, Lala went up for it. Just, again, a little undersized there. Might have caught an elbow, so too high of the head there, and so referee just wants to clear thing out. Not a bad foul.
That talking to, you had mentioned right at the start on the first corner, may have changed things a little bit. Sometimes those cards are more effective the more or less you use them. Here's a lofted ball. Sigurdsson again. Going to dart inside. Tries a cross again. And again, it's blocked. This time it's by Sean Brown.
Yeah, cards early in the contest really does nobody any favors. You're not going to change the momentum of the game. You're only going to punish the player and accumulate those yellow cards over time there. So I love the fact that the referee took time out of his day to explain the situation to all the players. And everybody can live and learn and move on and prosper.
Because you set the precedent that some next one like that, you might see it a little differently, and they're going to be like, well, that was a yellow card in the first half. What are you doing? It's
Rob,
sort
keep
of
an eye on this. This is one of AUM's favorite plays here to send everybody on the end line and just create mass confusion.
Ladko will send it in again. Fourth corner, not a good one, though.
Great job by Mobile being prepared for that.
Get it back, and now Vlatko crosses one in, and Mayogold on the end of that one, heads it away, and now it'll be a counter if they hurry. The Rams with it. Messiah trekking his way, goes 1v1 with Silva, now across for Ayati. Has it at the edge of the box, back for his man, and it's off the post, the rebound off of a shin, and wow, that was closer than I thought, inside of the post.
2 points I want to make here. Mobile has their scouting report. They've done their homework. They realize with the big center backs putting forward on corner kicks and set pieces that the AUM is very susceptible to the counterattack. If you notice there, Rob, 4v2 for Mobile on the counterattack. They got out in transition, in a run, and not only got a shot off, but it's still not good enough to get past Johannesson, who knows his posts.
Well, that's the awareness you want in a goalkeeper. You also want him to be able to do what he did right there. Telltale sign, a lot of professional goalkeepers have to get it not just past the midway stripe, but well past it. Not quite there, but here comes Steindorsen again, edge of the box, just outside of it. He'll loft a slow knuckle cross in there, and it's off the head of a defender. And Silva heads it, and that will allow the goalkeeper to collect it with his hands as opposed to his feet, and it's a quick restart. Sigurdsson at the midway stripe surveys it, and now he's got a man coming on him. It's Steindorsen, and wiping out there. Sigurdsson just blew a tire there, and, well, forgot he had 2 feet there for a second.
That's a Mother Nature turnover there. The field does kind of slope for drainage purposes toward the sideline to the near side rather sharply, and because of the rain that we had earlier this afternoon, down goes Sigurdsson.
Well, he's the one who went down, but Vlatko's the one who's shaken up. It seems that took an elbow to the chest or something. He is keeled over. Appeared to be holding his chest. There's not going to be a change, however.
Something keeping on as well there, a guy we've highlighted already in Kestring up top, really has checked too many times. And literally the first minute of the game, he was able to receive the ball at his feet, play the ball wide, and AUM got their first corner kick off of it. He is checking, but the Warhawks are not getting him the ball. I don't know if they're trying to draw the defense, somewhat of a decoy position here, but they really haven't got the ball at his feet. He's won a couple of head balls, but he really has to get the ball at his feet, kind of like a point guard in basketball. Get the ball in his hands, and he can distribute from there.
Well, AUM wanted a foul there for a push in the back against Steindorsen. Wasn't quite hard enough, and those are those judgment calls that people argue are flops or not. Referee says it was right there, so it ended up benefiting AUM anyway, as they got control of the throw-in. Steindorsen couldn't control it. Now back inside, and Old Haas takes it to the byline, curls around. Now he's going to go 1v1, and played it off of a foot. Might have been Mangold.
Holthus is probably my favorite player on the field here. He comes from that midfield position. He's very much a goal scorer. He feeds off Kestringer's work. His hard work is actually the glory of the man up top there, and so I really like, he's probably my favorite player. He wears number 10, one of the most popular numbers in soccer there, but Holthus is a phenomenal soccer player. He can do many things very well.
Challenge up in the air. Vlatko with his height will take advantage of that, 6'2". Now in the middle, another ball taken away. Estevez. As he got to the center circle, tried to distribute it, but Kaiser on the end of it. Stepped in front, and AUM working its way back up. Harwalt still in play. From our angle, we can't see that far touchline, but just got to judge it by the player reaction. But it must have been right at the edge there, as there's a foul against the Warhawks right there. Little push.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Rob. I think fouls are starting to accumulate here for AUM. I think it was probably close to 3-1 perhaps in Mobile's favor, and now things are starting a little bit discrepancy between the two. And we'll have to keep an eye on Coach on the sideline there. Wolf now starting to move around a little bit. Those arms now a little bit crossed, and now he's starting to pace a little bit as the fiery German's starting to get a little bit elevated in his intensity.
High free kick coming in, trying to reach the far post and get Steindorsen's head on it. It did, but it went the other way into the bushes for a goal kick for AUM. 19th minute here at AUM Soccer Complex. Ball's kick away from where the national championship will be held. And what a soccer complex, beautiful complex.
What a phenomenal site, phenomenal venue. The NAI has changed their national championship locations in multiple sports across the spectrum over the last couple of years. Montgomery has been able to host it. I believe this will be the third year, if I'm not mistaken, maybe the second, but a phenomenal venue, phenomenal site. Coaches and administrators have flexibility to which field to play from. It has lights, fantastic playing surface, and so I know AUM, I can't imagine what that shadow is like that literally looms over your program and your practice field. You could see it every day. It's say, boys, that's what Wolf does every day. Boys, that's what we're trying to get right there. What motivation to have for you.
Doesn't get much better than that. I think the only thing you can compare it to is UCLA playing in the Rose Bowl.
Oof.
Although that might also hurt. You just get used to it. If the big stage goes away, Dolan tries a cross in there. It's blocked down. Souza on the end of that one. Now Mangold launched one up there. It was a little short. Steindorsen still got his head on it, and it's lofted up in the air, and it was a fortunate bounce for Mobile, but an alert goalkeeper, Johansson, collects it.
Rams worked very hard for that opportunity there. Expect their hard work to continue here, knocking on the door.
Sigurdsson with a lofted ball, trying to curl one along a path that Didn't include any white shirts. Harwell didn't make the run. Was too far ahead of him for his liking. And we've played 20 minutes, and it's been fairly even. You had mentioned 3-1 fouls with Mobile with 3 and Auburn with 1. It's now 4-3 with AUM.
Correct.
With 3 straight fouls.
And that's what Wolf is upset about here. He doesn't mind his team fouling, especially don't want to foul in the wrong spots of the field. His team is well disciplined to know that. But just when the foul total starts to accumulate in the referee's mind, that's when he goes from whistle to pocket right away.
Well, Johansson with another goal kick opportunity. He's the left footer. And this is a high lofter. Going to come down. 2 bodies go up for the header. Nuchfam almost got an elbow from Holthaus. Now a back pass to Huhold. And it's a softly played ball across for Joylifer and Jolfson. It's in the game. Now Sigurdsson in the center circle. Now inside now in the middle of the park has a running for Wideco, and he doesn't quite go for it. Kestring in there as well, moving up. Also a guy who's moved up the pitch a little bit from the back line is Vitor Silva, now more of a defensive midfield position.
Correct.
So adjustments on the fly that you can only make during the run of play. Top of the box, here comes a lofted shot, and again, wouldn't have troubled the goalkeeper at all. Xavier Oggerton just watched that one fly over the byline, and it'll be a goal kick for the Rams.
Good sequence again by the Warhawks. Again, able to find the feet of Kestring, and that's exactly what they want to do. And just off the shin guard there at the left foot of Kaiser. And so Kaiser, great job again. They're getting the space, getting the opportunity, just sailed over the crossbar. But that's the bread and butter that the Warhawks want to play with offensively.
Unusual right there. Thought that would have been a corner, but it apparently went over one of the boots. Steindorsen right at the last second, so it's going to be a goal kick for the Warhawks.
No real protest on his part either, so you got to imagine a little guilty there on his part when you don't defend yourself.
So it'll be another goal kick, as really possession's been even. Only one shot separating the two, 3-2 the shots. However, Mobile's had one on goal.
Yeah, I really couldn't tilt that scale either way in terms of number of successful passes, as perhaps the football terminology, time of possession. I believe that you're right with that, Rob. Very much 50-50.
It's always an unofficial stat that's really just a judgment call unless somebody's got 2 stopwatches in their hand. Find another use for that antique chess set that you don't use. That's if you have one. Body goes to ground, no real contact, making a run at play. And now there are numbers forward. There's a through ball inside, and I can't tell if that was an actual slip or if that was a real dive there from Dolan.
I think it's a great no whistle. Again, Mobile with numbers on the counterattack after a turnover. It's exactly what the Rams want to do here. I believe Dolan realized that pass was beyond his reach, realized the real estate that's premium inside the penalty area, took a fall, and now Dolan and the referee are talking things over. Excuse me, I believe that's Steindorsen. But the two of them talking over, make sure they're both on the same page, and I think the right call was made, or the right no call was made, so to speak.
Long, high goal kick. Gladko tries a through ball, looking in for Kestring, who's starting to get a little more active in the midfield. Starting to play more of an attacking role, and there's a push in the back. It's legal, though, Silva. Now Ayati. 2 players collide. 2 guys going for the same real estate. Nothing to be concerned about right there, at least for the foul sake of it.
Physical play, and more physical play there. I love it.
Well, Ayati got right back up, and he's rolling with it. Took one look at the referee, but wasn't surprised that there wasn't a foul called right there.
And now he's even debating with the official. And now in the meantime here, we're going to get a stoppage in play. And I believe the official's going to talk to everybody about what's going on here. I love it. Absolutely adore it.
Well, the referee stopped and play there for a second for the stop the clock as well.
And I love the best part about it again, Idea came over to talk to the official, and the official wanted no part of it here. And again, the official now explaining to everybody, I want no part of this throughout the remainder of this game.
Something was also had to have been said right there.
I agree.
there was a point at both benches.
Yep, I agree.
That's usually the case. Both settle down sort of signals there. That's the one thing about having one referee in the middle. You can't. It's got a long trek to get over there, and got to be pretty fit. You got to be at the same level as the players, fitness-wise, as referees. As one myself, I am not. Hence why I'm sitting here.
Referee or player?
Referee. I'm not a very good player. I can tell you that much. That's why I stopped playing.
Just checking your credentials.
Yep, and well, the physical testing is very rigorous. I mean, one of the big tests is 3 laps around in intervals, and you don't have a whole lot of time, and that's what separates the best referees, as one's needed here with all this physical play, and we are going to have our first yellow card there as 2 guys, studs get tangled, and they were up, hence the yellow card. And it should be against Lawwell, who says, what can I do right there? I'm urging in there, but
2 points I want to make here. From the top of the broadcast, we talked about Mobile's mental toughness versus AUM's physical toughness. That was a telltale sign of it right there. AUM was physical 3 plays in a row here. Mobile was beat all 3 of those times. The 4th play came in here by Lola. Cleats up, took a man down. Referee jumps right in there, wants no part of that activity. Cards Lola, and that is the right call all the way around. So, like we talked about, Rob, the key is for Mobile moving forward from here. You don't want to get into a shoving match with AUM. You must play smart here and not play to their physical level.
Also saw the referee pointing at his Achilles. That's the kind of thing that'll just tear it in two. Lofted ball in there, appeals for a corner, but it's not going to be granted for AUM. Not to mention, that was very clumsy, very reckless, poorly timed.
Correct.
Everything about it just
Correct.
Screams yellow card.
Yep.
You mentioned it, Matt. It's just, I'm not sure what Lawwell could argue right there that would convince the referee not, even though he would never win that argument.
It's kind of like being on the stand at a trial. You've got the microphone, you've got the referee's attention or the judge's attention. Plead your case. You know the card's coming. Might as well try to plant a seed to his head and see if you can sprinkle some water on it, let it grow later on.
Well, the referee beat me to it. I was going to say it's when the yellow card is going to start coming. It's not if. In some games, you just never see it. This was a case where it is going to come, and there will be more.
And the fact that the AUM was able to play physical, be physical, Mobile responded with a yellow card. So not only AUM gets the foul and the free kick, but it's the other team that's yellow carded. So Mobile has to turn that tide here. And so positivity there for the Warhawks, without a doubt. They're the ones that like that type of play, and the fact that they weren't on the wrong end of the yellow card is even a better news.
Ball played for Sigurdsson. He's been rather silent lately. Gets back to the left side flank, tries a cross. It was blocked by Mangold, and he's shaken up from that one. He's holding bottom of his foot, but he's going to try to run it off as, again, those cleats, straight cleats might clip you, and you're just going to have to deal with it. Time to suck it up in a physical game like this.
I think he caught the follow-through there by Sigurdsson is when he landed on his right foot, he came down on top of Mangold, and Mangold's the one that's shaking up on the play.
Now through ball, ooh, and, well, that looked like a little bit of a lean-in, sort of a hip check from Mangold, but that is legal. That is a textbook standing tackle.
Speaking of arguments, you're never going to win. If you're cresting there at, 6'1", going against Mangold that's 5'7", and you're the bigger body that goes down, you're never going to get a foul in that situation there. So nice job to man up there by Mangold.
Yeah, the right back, doing work right there as there's a handball that goes right off of Dolman's hand right to his feet. So the handball was called. Well, you can also, these guys are starting to talk to each other a lot more now as they know that a mistake is what might separate a win from a loss. They're up for Sigurdsson, and he wins that one against Mangold. Kroger at the fullback position has a very poor quality cross. Didn't get a lot of lift on that, and didn't even make the post.
I think Mobile wants to try these counterattacks a lot quicker. They do to the near side here with Kroger that hit that ball out of play, was 10 to 15 yards off the end line maybe, and the keeper went with a quick goal kick to see if they could get numbers back the other way. Mobile wants to attack with those counterattacks and try to have numbers.
Well, it's just bouncing around right now in the air, and those are the danger moments, and there's a clearing attempt there. Souza has been pretty quiet, I guess that's a good thing if you're a defender. If you're not mentioned a whole lot, it means you're doing your job. Ball across, switching the field, and it was a pass intended for Messiah, and AUM will collect it, and they'll just reset everything from the back. As Johannesson is going to launch one from the ground all the way up. Didn't quite make the halfway stripe. Still found a white shirt, however. Now the 50-50 ball in the middle. Nuchfum in there. But it comes to the feet of Holthaus. Sigurdsson. Now Mangold again putting his body at risk right there with Flacco. And Flacco gets a strike in there. And that was too high for the goalkeeper. And, well, Harwell couldn't find the end of that ball. Still in, however, on the far side. And it's played out there. Bounced off as Sigurdsson has found himself on the opposite side right there as we got a quarter of an hour left here in the first half.
This is my favorite time. It's the end of the first half, the last 10 to 15 minutes, that window of opportunity where you can steal the halftime locker room. Both teams have played really well. Both these teams deserve to at least have a chance in the second half. So if you can slip one in the net here, you can really change not only your halftime atmosphere and your halftime energy, you can really dictate the next 10 minutes of the second half if you can get a goal here right before halftime. It changes your coach's demeanor from fellas, we're doing good, to we screwed up and this is what we've got to fix, and it's a negative conversation versus a positive one at a 0-0 draw.
Well, there's only been one quality chance, and it was an easy save for Johannesson at the goal to the right. And, well, it's been busy down at the left side, but quality just hasn't been there.
I think you're right. I think goal-scoring chances, AUM probably on the short end of that stick, but opportunities, I would say, have to advantage to the Warhawks. Opportunities, building the attack has definitely been the advantage of the Warhawks here, which is surprising. I think they would have just rested their loins on a bunch of set pieces, but that's not been the case.
And we're 14 minutes from halftime. Throw in for the Warhawks, and a very high cross comes in there, and the 5'7" Lawwall tried to jump over everybody, and he nearly did, as loose ball ended up at the feet of Harwell, and his strike from the right foot is into the bushes. Not even close to the goal.
Ondergon really hasn't had a real true test here in the goal for Mobile either, so perhaps a shot on goal could all that needs to happen for the Warhawks here to get one on the board.
Ball high up, and it ends up bouncing into the chest of Sigurdsson. Sends a through ball for Kestring. However, too far ahead, and Brown will back pass it to his goalkeeper, will launch it up towards the center again.
Again, Kestring not able to get the ball at his feet. Not necessarily his fault, but just not exactly the game plan coming into this contest for AUM.
And there's going to be a substitution for both teams here towards the end. So it'll be Pichardo. He's made 10 starts, didn't start today, from Nicaragua. He'll come in, 6-footer.
I stand corrected. Maybe it is his fault getting subbed out here. Just maybe some extra minutes here right before halftime and getting an extended halftime perhaps for Kestring, but you only hope it's not his fault that he's not getting the ball at his feet.
Well, Owen Dolan, the Irishman, sits. It's just making his 5th start today, but 4 goals and 2 assists will make you worthy of a start. And, well, Picardo, he'll come in, the sophomore, try to get some fresh legs here towards the end and get that goal at half. Neither team wants to give one up at this point because you don't have a whole lot of time to regroup right there. And there's a very late stepping challenge from Nuchfum, and can't do that. It's that simple.
And Follick right there, 1 minute into the game, gets the ball at his feet, just turned toward the middle of the field, gets fouled, and so here's AUM with a set piece.
And Follick, that was his first touch. Came in, that was the change for AUM, and well, he wins his team a free kick. Not quite a dangerous position, but he's earned his team a free kick for Flacco about 35 yards from goal. It's a high lofter, header in the air. Not sure who that hit. There were two guys going up for it, and Lawwell was one of them, but it went off, I believe, of Souza, who has made the trek up to the box to try to get one on net, and he didn't. Far post goal kick.
This won't show up in the box score or any post-game write-up, but Ogden got caught in no man's land, came off his line, did not elevate to try to punch that ball out. Any head by AUM getting that ball on target would have been in the back of the net. So make a mental note there, perhaps, if you're Mobile, to keep an eye on your goalkeeper there, who had one indecision here. It might have cost him a goal, but luckily they avoid danger.
Well, there's a foul that I'm surprised didn't get called, as it looked like Holdhaus got his boot right in the back of the calf. Newchfum, who was down, and he is.
This is not good. This is one of the worst signs you want to see here. If you're a fan involved with this game, whatever the case may be, but he went down immediately and immediately asked for help. So many times, I think the knock on soccer players is perhaps flopping or staying down too long. Sometimes literally they just need to catch their breath. That's why they stay down there so long. And so I think people don't understand that part of the game. But I tell you here, this is not a good sign. There's a grimace on the face. He is clearly in pain here. And when he went down, he asked for help right away. This is, you only hope and pray for the best here, because you can only see the worst in this situation.
Well, the trainer's out there. And, well, that was one of those types of challenges you had to be right there to see it, and it was not a good one. It didn't get called, but it hurts.
How serious is this injury? Now Coach Patton has even made his way from the bench. You don't very often see the head coach come out to check on a player with an injury. I don't think Coach Patton has the degree to assess or perhaps diagnose one of his players with an injury, but this is not good.
Well, this could be considered that timeout that I mentioned the whole time. He's going to go talk to Picardo.
Kind of like a manager in baseball, too. Going to use a mound visit to try to have a word with a referee and an official. Love the sportsmanship, too, on AUM side here, as they're one of their center backs there. Sousa is going to try to help him off the field, but Coach Patton's going to substitute in. Not a whole lot of weight on that left leg, that left knee, as he limps off. Already, Rob, that's a good sign. He's able to get up on his own and at least put some pressure on it. You only hope for the best for that young man.
Well, like you said, pressure's on it, and he'll live to fight another day. Question is, when will that day be? It could be today, could be next year. You never know with knees.
You hope it's sooner rather than later.
Well, it was one of those, saying an uncalled foul there, it's one of those things where if you got to have the right angle. Again, refereeing, people don't realize is that it's all about angles. Sometimes fouls look different from other angles. You could be behind the play, and a tackle from behind looks absolutely awful, and yet it's textbook. I've seen it and have evaluated some that have made that call before, sometimes even sending guys off who really shouldn't have been a red card right there. Is not in that example, however. There's no need for sending somebody off there, as Sigurdsson hit the deck, and there was no foul there. It just goes out for an AUM throw-in. See if that changes anything, with two guys already taking knocks. They'll be black and blue by the end of the game here if they keep playing that way, AUM anyway.
I'm surprised AUM doesn't change their school colors from orange and black to black and blue after you get done playing them in men's soccer, because that is exactly how you're going to feel tomorrow morning. That's exactly how you're going to look sometimes, too.
Fallick with a right-footed cross. Miss-hit and a goal-saving save right there. There's the test for Ogden. And it was off of a volley clearing attempt by Lowell. And, well, would have been an own goal right there had Ogden not been on his, not been on a springboard right there.
I'll still stand by my statement. I would like to see Argonaut tested by AUM here with a shot on goal. That's a nifty play by the young goalkeeper.
Well, the long reach from a goalkeeper helps right there. It'll be a corner, and it's a low line drive. Very poor for anybody's sake.
Yeah, mistouch there on the far side there by Fallick, so he'll want to do over with that one, but doubt he'll get it before halftime here.
Well, we're 9 minutes from halftime, and, well, it's been pretty even. Fouls-wise, possession-wise, shots-wise, there's some tangles going on there in the middle of the field as Estevez Picardo also in there as well as the foul goes against Hoonhold. Now making a run here for the Rams is Picardo. Takes it to the byline. The attempt right there is of no avail, and referee having to calm someone down on the Warhawk bench, as this will be a corner for the Rams. So, well, at least the corner count will be tilting towards AUM's way, and here's a rare one for the Rams, who've had better chances of the two teams. Long, high one starting to dip, and the Law will target again. 5'7", not the guy you'd aim for, but he certainly has that reach when he jumps. Love to know what his vertical is, but he can jump over everybody.
Still, you can tell Mobile's outmanned, outmatched on those free kick crosses that come into the box there. AUM has numbers back, and they have the size and physicality that I'll be surprised if Mobile's able to get anything on goal on corner kicks.
And I had said he was from Nicaragua earlier. He's actually from Nigeria. So
tomato, right?
Yep. Don't have the excuse I can't read my own handwriting because it's typed. That's what makes it worse. But for him, he just wants to play well. So, loose ball foul there going to be called against Mobile. And will be the goalkeeper, Johannesson, to kick it up forward, and here it is. High line drive, Sigurdsson going up in there, and he's moved inside as Falik has taken the right or the left side flank, near side. Ball in the middle of the park, sort of over that little hill that we can't see the far side touchline with. And there's Kaiser, who's offside. Flag is up.
Wow, that was quite the retroactive offsides call there. The AUM folks here are not happy with it. Not saying it's right or wrong, just the process of the referees went about calling that play is difficult to understand.
Well, the setup's odd. Referee in the middle has to see his linesman with the flag up. Sometimes it doesn't come till seconds later, and I think that's what happened right there. It was the guy nearest to him that was offside. And long ball forward, trying to find Sigurdsson. It's too far for him. Mangold shields him from the ball, and he'll just let it roll over that end line for a goal kick. 39th minute. And still have no goals. Very much like the women's game that delayed us from starting the men's game. And, well, goals will... Something doesn't happen in the next 6 minutes. It'll have to come in the second half. And AUM not all that unfamiliar with overtime. They have 3 overtime winners already this season, but Rams will have something to say about that, and they try to make a run right there. It's knocked out. And into touch. Going to be a throw-in as Picardo trying to get forward again, and the fullback Mangold will survey, look for someone to throw to. He finds Steindorsen, who's also moved inside, and that is taken away from him. Holdha's still there. Takai Grant, one of the subs, will come in. He's from Bermuda, and, well, I looked down right as that, what the supposed foul was. I didn't see it.
First time today I think I could question the referee's call. I don't know if it's the wrong one because, again, the defender went through the attacker to try to get to the ball. But for the first time today, a questionable call in my opinion.
Well, again, what I was saying about angles comes into play right there as the referee explains it and sets up the distance for the wall.
Look for the shot on goal here for Mobile.
Have to go for goal here with this position. It's about 20 yards from goal, right at that penalty arc.
And even Johannesson adds an extra man in the wall knowing what's coming.
Well, it'll be a 4-man wall, and taking the kick is Messiah, and he bends it. And Couldn't tell if it deflected off the wall or another AUM body. Here's a shot that's blocked, still in the box, and the goalkeeper calling off everybody. And Johannesson instructing his defender, it might have been Holthaus right there, yes it was, to stay put and let me come out and grab it.
The ball just aimlessly lays 15 yards outside of the post, and your All-American goalkeeper in Johannesson just calls for it with a defender in the neighborhood. So kind of a cardinal sin for a goalkeeper, but well done there on Johannesson's part.
Shot too high there for the Rams. Best chance of the game for the Warhawks, as the Ram goal is well protected right there as that shot sailed. As that wind that we had been dealing with earlier has calmed down until now. That's what made me think of it. But whether or not really much of a factor here in game number 2 of this Alumni Weekend doubleheader for AUM celebrating there. And there's an eye poke right there. And
that's inadvertent and unintentional there. And again, the Mobile's attacker there, Grant, he knows it too. He's going to go peel back there. He's going to check on Sousa, make sure he's okay. Sousa's not going to like it, because who does like getting poked in the eye there? But definitely nothing malicious on Mobile's part there with Grant.
Well, there's another challenge that's questionable from the point that why would you go in there that recklessly against Mangold? And the referee gives him that little swipe of the arms, and don't do that again or you're going into my book.
Here's my man Holthus, can be lethal with this ball here. This is definitely a threat for AUM.
Well, 2.5 minutes to go, Matt. You mentioned that he can hit from anywhere, and here it comes. It's a high lofter and calling off everybody, reaching over everybody's head. The goalkeeper, Haggergon, got the right away, and he used it to his advantage right there. And there's a guided chest down from hold, and
fantastic job there by Agardon. He needed that right before halftime, too, because of the indecision he had before, and luckily caught a break. That one commits, makes a play. That was huge for him right before halftime.
2 minutes from halftime. There's a chance, and it goes off the top of the boot of Grant.
For the first time today, I think Kroger made a mistake and it almost cost him a goal. Kroger got caught in the midfield a little bit with a little finesse possessing out of the back there for the defense, and literally lost track of the run from the outside there with Grant, and Grant was one cleat away from putting it home.
Well, mistake might be the difference maker, not just in the end of the first half, but the whole game, as goals are a rarity here this afternoon. And there's a foul in the center circle that'll benefit the Warhawks.
Good call, too. It wasn't a foul at first. Referee initially elected advantage, but that second pass never came. Mobile had possession, and so he re-granted the foul. Good call.
Well, Holthaus will have a set piece just outside the far side of the center circle in his offensive half.
Look at AUM push numbers forward into the box.
Certainly, and it's a hard liner looking for Kroger. Wasn't on the end of it, though. Now one last run, perhaps, for Mobile, and is that a foul there, or is that a throw-in for him? It'll be a throw. Nope.
It's going to be a foul.
Yeah, it should have been a foul. I was wondering why.
It's a good call, too, to commit the foul there for AUM, because, again, Mobile's wanting to counterattack. You either get the man on the ball, but never miss both.
So they'll bring the goalkeeper forward, chested down, knocked down. Inside for Estevez, and held on to it too long, trying to connect right there. And not happy about that was Messiah. He was looking for that. And Sigurdsson was the intended target on that play forward, as just seconds from halftime here, as both teams will just boot it as hard as they possibly can as the half comes to a close. One last play forward for Sigurdsson with 2 seconds. Oh, and he couldn't connect on the volley. And that's how the first half ends. The Warhawks just missed by inches. If Sigurdsson gets the right part of the boot there, be talking 1-0 Warhawks, but instead it's a miss hit. As time expires, we will head to halftime. The way we started, 0-0. So, well, we'll have know for sure we will bring you the recap with stats and all on the other side of a break, as I'd like to also remind you that official hotel sponsor of tonight's National Game of the Week, broadcast on NSCAA TV, the Holiday Inn Express of Montgomery, Alabama at East Chase Parkway. It's a wonderful hotel property located just a few minutes away from the campus of Auburn-Montgomery and is a great stop for opponents, away teams, fans, and families traveling to the area who need a place to stay all season long and also during the NAIA Men's Soccer National Championship. For reservations, contact the Holiday Inn Express at 334-271-5516. That's 334-271-5516. Or you can visit them online at Holiday Inn Express Montgomery East. HolidayInnExpress.com/Montgomery East. I stand corrected. So, like we said, that recap will come on the other side of the break. Here in a 0-0 draw, goalless game, goalless first half from Montgomery, Alabama. It's all part of Turbo Sports' National Game of the Week.
I had a dream, a beautiful dream. I couldn't believe how real it seemed. Up on stage, in a field of green, on the winding river, and a song you'll sing. When I wake up, I'll see you here in Montgomery, where dreams come true. Tra la la, tra la, tra la. Pleasure.
Each year, the NSCAA puts over 7,000 coaches through our coaching education program. Youth, high school, and college coaches at all levels participate in the diploma courses. Join your peers and get educated. Better coaching, better players, better game. NSCAA Coaching Academy. Improving soccer, one coach at a time. Register today at nscaa.com/education.
and corner kicks with Auburn-Montgomery with 5, Mobile with just 2. Now, shots by the half, it's 5-4 in favor of Mobile. However, on target, there's only 1, and that was in favor of Mobile. Just missed getting a really great opportunity right as the clock was about to expire from Sigurdsson. And the Copavalgar Iceland native has got 6 goals on the year, just about had number 7 if he was able to volley that ball in. But foul count also high with 14 between the two. 9 for Mobile, 5 for Auburn. And, well, seen 2 Mobile Rams go down injured. But that physical play is just... Is it more than what we expected, Matt, or is it sort of the norm?
No, this is exactly what I thought we would get at Auburn-Montgomery. The discrepancies in fouls, I would have said, would have been the other way around, and I think that would have been a good thing for the Warhawks. So if you mean to tell me that the Warhawks are being as physical as they want to be, and yet they're ones not being called for the foul, they're not the ones with the yellow card in the first half, I definitely would think in terms of tempo and dictating this game, I would give a slight advantage to the Warhawks over the Rams in the first half.
Well, the Rams will kick off the second half. They will attack the goal to the left, wearing the burgundy and the white with the orange stripes, letters, or numbers, excuse me. They will be attacking the goal now to the right. And first play is a throw-in. And will belong to the Rams. And doesn't stay there long as we expected. Supposed to have back and forth we go. We don't have the exact possession percentages, but we anticipate they might be as close to even as you can get, slightly twisted towards Mobile's way. And they also had one go off the post. Just missed.
If you're making an adjustment here for Coach Patton and Mobile, you got to possess the ball more, I think. I think they did a fantastic job of that the first 20 minutes of the game, and maybe less of an opportunity in the last 25 minutes of the first half. So look for Mobile to be smarter with the ball, have the ball, deliver a ball with a purpose, with a name on it at somebody's feet, wearing the same color jersey that you are, versus just long balls into space or just balls up the field if you feel like it's slanted down towards you.
Mangold far side, he's been busy.
And on the flip side of that, I think AUM, you're at home, you're playing fairly well. Obviously, Coach Wolf is probably wanting the team to play better than what they are, like every other coach would. But your opportunities are coming. You just got to capitalize on them. And now we're got a dead ball whistle here.
And Vitor Silva took one in the gut, and he appears to be holding his rib cage on the left side. Now he's going to get up as...
I think that's saying it nicely there, Rob.
Yeah,
he's holding his stomach, but I'm not sure that's where it hurts.
Yeah, that could have been one of those, and now it'll be a drop ball. You didn't see the traditional kick the ball out and get yourself rehydrated, and, well, right there, it'll just be a drop ball, and for that, the Rams will kick it back to the Warhawks.
It's one of the things I just don't understand. On drop kicks because of injuries, why the sportsmanship thing to do in one team's eyes is to kick it out of bounds, only for the other team to possess it via the throw. And why not just drop the ball and let the team that has the injured player possess it from there? You get your shape and get your form behind them, and you're ready to roll.
High ball way out of the facility. We'll end up on the national championship field if it keeps on going.
Nice.
Got to work that in always, because rarely do you ever see your town hosts the final, but it's not on your field. Not only that, the fact that you can see it. Might be even a cross-river situation, but...
It's hard to believe, Rob, that we're more than almost two-thirds of the way through this season, and we can start counting down the weeks to that NAI national tournament. It seems like there's so much more soccer to be played till you get to the final site. You've got to finish the stretch run here in the regular season and conference play. Then you've got your conference tournament. Then you've got the opening round the weekend before Thanksgiving. Then you get to enjoy some turkey before you get to show up here to Montgomery and a chance to fight for a national championship. It just seems so far away in comparison to how much soccer we've already played this season.
Well, that's why March Madness gets the whole month instead of just maybe 1 week or a 4-day span where you see lots of basketball. And it's the same case sort of in the basketball rules here. And we've got what is appeared to be a disagreement between player and referee.
Yeah, there was a little counseling session going on with the referee, and this is going to be the first and only one here the second half. I think he voiced his opinion in the first half. I think that was his last babysitting moment for either one of these teams, and so now I think this game is going to be called straightforward. And I would have to say that for AUM, especially the foul category that we saw in the first half with the stats, that conversation favors the Warhawks.
Ayati is shoved off the ball by Holthaus, and
I don't want to say it enough because you can't overemphasize it, but I just love how Holthaus plays this game, and he just went toe-to-toe with the guy there, got beat, let him knew he got beat, and so you foul him with a push of the arm or a push of the shoulder there, and again, that's the same conversation that ID just had with the official, and so now if you're Holthaus, you get to re-emphasize that point that, hey, we're here, we're not going anywhere, we're going to keep playing physical, playing tough, it's up to you to adjust, and maybe it's the mentally frustrated Mobile player that has that thought kind of driven home because of that foul by the AUM. I love it.
Well, Steindorsen, who was pretty busy in the first half, is not happy about the call against his teammate Ayati, and
it's a sign of mental weakness, if you ask me. If you're vocalizing your frustration to the referee, you're already beat mentally. It's hard to recover. It's hard to rebound. It's hard to get focused and come back in a positive mentality to get your team going in the right direction.
Ball comes down to the feet of Messiah. Has to go 1v3 before he looks for support. There's Ayati coming into it. And, well, what was anticipated was a ball win for the Warhawks, and they do.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Rob, but Ayati looks beat already.
Not a doubt there. It's going to come down to mentality. The way things are going here early in the second half. That might be what is wrong with Mobile, at least on the record-wise, is that they just get too picky.
It's just tough. You're in the grind of the SSAC. This conference is brutal. It's cutthroat. And so if you're not top tier every single game, week in and week out, you're going to have some losses.
Well, yellow card has come out, and fairly certain that's going to come against Steindorsen because...
No, that's actually going to go as Hoth that sits in. And
it is, okay.
He earned out with a lot of extracurricular activity there, a little verbiage, just some chipping of the cleats there and some pushing of the hands here, and he definitely earned that one for whatever it's worth.
Well, there were three guys in that area that could have gotten that, and despite all the dissent that's going on, comes off of a shove right there. And there's another one. Well, nobody on the Mobile bench is happy about that. Even the goalkeeper, Ogden, is probably the most vocal out of anybody.
And I tell you why here. There's multiple things to be upset about. One, the center official is standing closer than anybody else to that foul than anybody else, but yet the linesman calls it about 2-second delay for him, and that's right in front of the Mobile bench. Many reasons for the Rams to be upset there.
Cross in. This looks dangerous, and Sigurdsson not tall enough to reach that one. Just missed getting that pile of hair he's got on his head. Almost, well, at least from here, it kind of looks like an old bowl cut, and it looks like it'd be perfect to cushion a header right on into the net, and it almost happened right there. Steindorsen, middle of the park, has some space and some time, a rarity today. Here's Kaiser.
Something against the bowl cut, Rob?
No, just an observation.
Rocked it in my day.
Yeah, I had it too. I did like it at one point. Messiah, that's who I mentioned before. Wrong lineup.
And then 2000 hit, right?
Yeah, right around that time. Here's Ayati. Try to cross, and offside flag comes up. So we'll go the other way with AUM in possession. As can feel the tension rising just between, not just more so with the referee between players than between the two teams. It's more about what's being called than, hey, you dove right into me, you left your feet kind of thing. But
Oh, I thought that was my tense muscles and how cold it is here.
could be a part of that. Oh, and there's almost head-to-head collision right there as Lowell gets on the end of a header that looked like he was headed right to the space where Harwell was. But he got his head to ball and goes into touch right in front of the Warhawk bench, thrown in. And Lowell wants a foul there, but two guys are going for the same space again. You can't call that, as there's another ram down.
This is another adjustment by the Referees Association here, especially at the collegiate level. You'll see this bleed over to some of the professional ranks as well. The officials have been instructed to go over to the players, ask if they're injured, ask if they need to receive medical attention, and it's changed the game. And I really like it because those players aren't able to lay there and regroup and recoup like they would like to. It's not that they're faking injuries; they're literally tired. They need to catch their breath, and so now these officials are going over them. And you got to understand the leverage that they have. If they receive medical attention, they've got to step off the field. So if you don't want to step off the field, get up and let's move on.
Well, there's one right there. The elbows were flailing around right there, and that's the call right there. And
that's a bad foul by Mobile because of where it's at on the field. AUM's able to set things up and have a goal-scoring opportunity here.
And about 25 to 30 yards away from goal. Two-man wall set up 10 yards away, and it's a low-line drive right at a diving low wall. So it'll be a throw for AUM on the far side. Getting close to that penalty box that might end up being the result of what result we get here today. And holding his ground well right there was Luis Estevez. Has it. Received a pass from Mangold, and AUM tried to get in front of that one, but it's a lofted ball, and it'll end up off of the toe of Souza forward. Sigurdsson with a header knocked down to Vladko. There's a strike, and, well, came off the foot a little earlier than desired, and another goal kick.
Vladko wants that one back. He saw it developing to a great header that was won by Sigurdsson. He knew it was coming, the ball coming toward him. He was able to settle it, beat a defender, and just struck that ball more to the middle of his body, the midline of his chest versus outside of his body. You can use that swing of the right foot to generate some nasty knuckle and perhaps putting something on frame. He wished he had that one back.
Well, Todorich has gotten his elbow into the head of Sigurdsson, and Sigurdsson moving around a little bit slower than he normally does. Might want to let his hair grow there and use it as a helmet. But I don't know why I'm picking on him. It's not like it's not that unusual. I mean, sometimes, at least in the EPL, you see hairstyles that are absolutely crazy. That, well, they do that just for the attention of it, so they can get in the tabloids. Here it's just good old fun, I guess. Loose ball in there, and that's a dangerous play with all those cleats going into the same position at once, right in front of the scoring table. And
Holt is playing recklessly, too. I love it. Just reckless abandonment, no fear, no concern for his body. He wants that ball. He wants to control it and wants to move his team forward, and he knows he's the guy that can do that.
56th minute. Flick on. Here comes a chance for AUM. The shot, just curled wide to the near post. Didn't quite bend in the right direction.
Must put it on frame. You have to put that ball on frame. Make that goalkeeper make a play. He's only been tested once. He's made one indecision on a cross. His own teammates had the best shot on goal for him. You've got to put. You can't finesse that ball. You can't try to put it in the side. You can't try to put it in the top shelf. Just put it on goal.
That is his own fault.
Well, I've never seen a guy go up in the air like that, come down and get a foul called against him, but it looked like he missed everything. The ball that he was trying to get and, well, the man he was trying to avoid hitting.
Second time today. Again, it's not the wrong call, but it's the second time today I question the whistle. And now Dolan doesn't like, the referee's not going to like what was said here by ID, and he's earned this one for sure. He definitely has had too much time on the stand here today in court, and finally the judge will rule him guilty as well.
Use that analogy. That might have been a contempt yellow card.
Absolutely.
Spoke out of turn one too many times, trying to sway it his way, but again, that's just not going to work. So here's a cross up for Sigurdsson. He got it on target, on frame, but right at the goalkeeper. And Agardon with the save. He's not the same test you would have thought, but shot on target's step in the right direction. As now another counterattack coming off the clearance now, up in the air. Kaiser knocked down for Holthouse. 1-2 with Sigurdsson, who's now playing on the near side again from the right flanking side. And swept back in, Hunhold, and it was a slip in the box as Fallick tried to dart inside and make the diagonal run, and it didn't work. As his cleats just didn't grip the grass that well. 58th minute. From AUM.
Rob, you hit the nail on the head. Step in the
Goals.
right direction for AUM. You're absolutely right here. That one on frame may not seem much of a threat, but it's a huge, huge weight off their shoulders there. They know they're knocking on the door here. Can they kick in the front door and let it in?
Well, they'll be starting to see some cobwebs on the net if it doesn't get used here. Ayati already has a yellow card that was just called against him, and ooh. Well, not sure if that's just the gamesmanship from Messiah, but he definitely had a cleat in the back of him. And Mobile not happy about it. I don't blame the referee for not calling that. And now this is getting chippy now.
Chippy's not even a
Crowds.
word. This is getting out of hand.
People are not happy with, at least the crowd's not happy with the decisions.
A lot of instigators here in this situation here. It's going to be up to the referee to determine how he sorts this pile out here. And I don't want to put the cart before the horse here. Let's see how this is handled.
The referee's going to call over. Usually what happens in the situation is the captains are coming over. Now the linesmen also in here. They're going to talk about it as they survey the field to see what each other saw. So both yellow cards for both fives. That's where the problem originated. So get the instigators, Messiah and Kaiser.
Here's what happened here. Kaiser had position, but he drew Messiah into him, literally tackled him down on top of him. So it looks like Messiah charged into Kaiser, and that's not the case. Kaiser initiated that foul. I like what the referee did here to dictate this situation by carding both gentlemen in this situation here, because, again, the referee made its point. The first couple of minutes of the second half, he's going to have no more of this. The referee's now in control, not the players. It'll be hallmark from here on out.
Well, despite all that, the officials have not lost control of this game at all.
I agree.
And this is as well as you'd want them to handle it.
Correct.
Despite the displeasure. What's even nicer, I guess, from a fan's perspective is that if you don't like a call, you got the referee right there. You're a shrub length away from the official. And it's definitely unique, but it definitely prevents the ball from going further away, and I do like that.
And Rob, to reemphasize our point from the pregame, this is about mental toughness versus physical toughness. AUM wants to play physical, clearly right there. Mobile has to be mentally strong. They can't get into a fight with AUM. They can't get into a physical battle with them. They've already lost that in the first half. You can tell by the foul discrepancy. Mobile must play smart for the remainder of this game.
Well, that's why the Germans, really from the onset of all history, they've been one of the best consistent teams, soccer-wise, on the international level. And that's why you saw an all-German UEFA Champions League final as there's a ball won. Played inside the box, and there's a foul. There's a shove off right there against Ayati. He's got to tread carefully now that he's been copied down on paper, as that yellow card means another one means he's done. Not just for this match, but for the next one. Just 3 games left in the regular season for both sides, and conference tournament after that. How well you do there might determine your postseason, or at least national tournament size. And there's a challenge from behind. Advantage played there. Referee bites his tongue right there. Doesn't decide to blow the whistle. There's a strike that looked pretty, but think it was off a little more than what it actually was.
Best threat Mobile's had in the second half here, though.
Without a doubt right there. So it'll be a goal kick. We've played an hour, and we're still where we started, level at a goalless draw. Will both games go into overtime? Who knows?
Still a lot of soccer left to be played in this game. Don't punch your tickets just yet.
Still got a whole nother third to play of the game here.
And the reason I say a whole lot of soccer, 2/3 of this game is already gone, but the important part is the opportunities keep presenting themselves for both these teams. So to think this game is going to be 0-0 in another 30 minutes, you would be quite wrong in that situation here. Somebody's going to crack that goose egg off the scoring column here very shortly.
Yeah, you could just feel it coming, and it's down in the Mobile attacking end. That final third has been the thing lacking for both teams. Throw-in goes off of another Ram, went off of Grant, so it's going to be a throw. And AUM trying to cheat up forward as much as they possibly could right there, and the officiating crew has to back him back up to where the ball went out. You do have some wiggle room, but if you abuse it, it's going to go right back to where you started. 50-50 ball in the middle, and there was a push right into the jaw. Steindorsen, and he's okay.
And again, it's not that I don't mind fouling. It's just fouls can only occur when you're playing hard and not playing outside of your realm or anything extracurricular. And that's exactly what happened there. Both teams playing hard right there. Simple foul called. No worries on anybody's part with that whistle.
Long ball, 45 yards from the goal, just 5 yards from the halfway stripe, and coming out and getting it is Johannesson, and it'll try to spring a counterattack as a result. Harwell turns on the Jets, but he can't catch up to it as it rolls out.
That's
almost opposite of where it was kicked.
That's almost like a quarterback scene. Man-to-man coverage on the outside there. He saw his speedster, probably the fastest guy on AUM's team in Harwell, all by himself to the near sideline. Knew if he could get the ball to Harwell as quickly as possible, he'd have a shot to take a defender on and go one-on-one at the goal. Great idea there by the veteran goalkeeper.
Nice 1-2. Here comes Kestring. Cross along the ground. Cleared away, but bodies tangling together and getting tangled up. Kaser got on the end of his own player's foot. Now up with it is Aidi, and now Messiah crossed it right into the feet of Hoonhold. Now middle with a little bit of space. Ayadi surveys. Decides to go back inside, diagonally to Dolan. Dolan going 1v1, shakes one, left-footed cross along the ground, right off of, well, couldn't tell if it was Souza or Hoonhold, but regardless of that, it's going to be a corner kick for the Rams.
Quick point here, Mobile had that counterattack about the 25th minute here. They had a 4-on-2 advantage. They've only had one counterattack since that situation. It came right after, about midway through the first half. AUM has done a great job of getting back in transition defense, not allowing that counterattack threat by Mobile.
Low line drive. Goalkeeper comes off his line, makes the catch, and he'll quickly punt it up high. Going to try to find that same running Harwell again, get it off of a bounce, and backwards volley to Torek. Got it up, and now we'll head up into the middle. Headed back from Kroger, back towards Souza. Now with some space there, a whole house. And I'll wait forward, and in the air, winning it is Sean Brown for the Rams. Now the aerial balls are going to win those headers as space is now wide open on the flanks. It's the middle that is all clogged up, and it might be the flank play that wins it. Messiah back inside for Steindorsen, who's been quiet in the second half. By design, moved back to a defending midfield position in a through ball, looking for Dolan. That one is going to be rolled right back towards Johannesson, and we'll have another high, long, deep punt. Wall is on the end of that. He's playing under a yellow card. 5 yellow cards distributed, 3 for Mobile and 2 for the Warhawks of Auburn-Montgomery.
That's not good news for Mobile.
Well, speaking of the devil, Mobile with it. Yachty try to pass along to the right side flank for Grant. Cross is headed away. Over the end line, last touched by the Warhawks for a corner. And, well, corners are racking up now again. Belong more towards, at least this end, these corners have been busy. SAUM at this end in the first half had 5. And Mobile only had 2. Ayati with the header. Here comes a bike kick. Oh, and he just got the wrong foot there from Lawwell. There's a strike, went off the face of someone. There's a deflection, and that was off of a defender, last touched by a man in white, so it'll be another corner for the Rams. Wouldn't be surprised to see a goal come off of a miscommunication on one of these set pieces. High lofted ball, starts its dip, headed on. Oh, and that one was headed for Twine. Off the head of Dolan. But, again, no one is post, like you've been saying all match, Matt. Johannesson on the end of it.
Somehow Dolan, the tallest, biggest target for Mobile, who the world, everybody at this park knows about him, gets loose in the back post there, and that might be the best opportunity.
Here comes
for
Sigerson
Mobile.
on a run. Oh, and he misses near post. With the left foot, got too much. He didn't get enough toe on it, really. He got too much ankle. Middle of the foot is perfect, but
I think if you flip the field there, if Sigerson is on his right foot on the right side of the field, he finishes that opportunity.
well, it's picking up here, both in speed. Crowd's into it, and this is getting good. Holdhouse plays a long ball, and flag goes up. Offside was phallic. Mentioning the German influence in here, we've hardly talked about it, but Wolfkoch going for win number 200, but got to break the goal line if you're going to see either team get a result here, as we have been goalless since kickoff. Well, the women's game went in overtime, was won in that extra period. Well, we see it here in the men's game. Well, neither of these teams have drawn yet, but honestly, neither team really deserves to lose. It's just a matter of what's going to happen in the end. At least not yet, anyway. Neither team has showed they've deserved to win it more than the other. It's about equal. There's a tackle in the middle and ball first. No call, rightly so. Sigurdsson in the end of that. Launching his body forward is Mangold. He's been quiet there. The right back now gets a pass intercepted, tries a counterattack, and his pass is intercepted. So now Souza ends up with a loose ball, darts back inside, surveys, trying to find flank again for Alan Harwell. Connects with Sigurdsson, who will take it to the touchline, near side. Cross, and it's blocked, and, well, there's a corner earned for AUM.
We may not have a leading team in this contest right now, but I definitely understand who's in control of this game, and that's the referee. Date back all the way to the double yellow card about 12 minutes ago here, Rob, and this has been a soccer game ever since then. There's no more extracurricular activity, no more pushing, no more shuffling. Things have settled down, and these two teams are focused on soccer from here on out.
Well, it's back to business, back to the no more gamesmanship. It's about who's got the talent to stick it together. Not just the talent, but the toughness to stick it together and link guys together. Comes a corner. It's going to be played low, short. Inside for Fallick, and his cross his lofted attempt into the 6 is thwarted and cleared away into touch for a throw for the Rams.
Half a dozen corner kicks now for AUM. How many different sets have you seen from them? That's what they're so good at, is set pieces. We've seen short corner kicks, long corner kicks, headers on frame, a ball played to the elbow right there. They are just relentless. They spend many hours at practice with set pieces and corner kicks and how they can score in those opportunities. And we're seeing it here, at least the arsenal of their attack on the corner kicks.
Well, referee, read lips from here. Said that's your warning. Was a kick from behind deliberately. And had that been harder than it actually was, or at least if he got his intended target in the crosshairs, we might have seen a red card.
Holt is still my favorite player out there, Rob. It doesn't matter if he gets booked in this contest one more time or not. I love how he plays. It's almost as if to play, this is how I play. Referees, opponents, teammates, everybody has to adjust the way I play the game. And if I get 2 yellow cards in the process of scoring the game winner, I'll take it. I love his approach to the game.
That's what makes the Germans so good, really, or at least the style anyway. Pass from Vecta, Germany. Got the game-winning goal against Bethel. At the rate this is going, whoever scores here today, if they do, 1 goal could be the difference.
And how appropriate, Rob. You hit the nail on the head. Coach Wolf going for his 200th career win here. How appropriate it either is going to be coming against Mobile, who AUM has struggled with in the regular season, or preventing it will be Mobile on the heels of a 7-game winning streak for the Warhawks, too.
Mobile just wants to get back into the win column. I mean, losing 3 out of the last 5, that's... You just want to get something going, at least when you head towards the conference tournament. But they got work to do right here. Here comes Harwell, long lofted cross, and that was too high. He just, not sure if he lost his head right there or he mishit it.
Harwell definitely mishit it. Had 2 targets into the box, one to the near post and the big man and Cressing, and then all the way to the penalty area as well was Sigurdsson. He had both white shirts open, and I think kind of indecisively didn't know which one to hit it to, and as a result, you see what happened.
Well, level we are still. You're in the 71st minute, about to enter the 72nd. Lofted sweeper inside. Ayati turns back with his back to goal, turns and crosses. Will there be somebody there in red? Yes, there will be. The header, not on target.
Nice job there. We talked about his tough double yellow card there. He was part of a double yellow card there in Kaiser, but nice job on the back door there, knowing what his role is, being goal side of that attacker, and doesn't get his head on it, but does his job to prevent a header to being on target.
So it'll be another goal kick. The shots on goal numbers have gone up as well. 3 for Mobile, 1 for Auburn-Montgomery.
With that stat there, you say 3 for Mobile, 1 for Auburn-Montgomery there, Rob. Who's closer to putting the ball in the back of the net right now?
Auburn-Montgomery,
I
have
agree.
to say. I mean, again, you got to get quality. And here comes a shot. It's a laser, but it's wide. And that's Steindorsen.
Another great sequence there by Mobile. Maybe that's the reason they do have 3 shots on goal there. Great sequence, great opportunity, and perhaps Mobile starting to gain some momentum in the second half.
Well, it'll be another thumper up across for Johannesson. Vignor Johannesson, also from Iceland. Several Icelandic players here. Lots of internationals. Nothing wrong with that. Love to get the very different styles together, mesh it together in college soccer. Far side, Grant steps over it, turns with his left foot, has it blocked down. Souza in there as well as Holthaus, and Lofter up and cleared away by Kroger. Chested down by Silva. He's during the run of play trying to find Sigurdsson, who was looking the wrong direction. It was played behind him. However, it's still with the Warhawks. Sigurdsson has it played behind him again. And Tortoric has it, and 2 guys collide, going for the same space again. Nothing should be called right there, and they should be aware of that. Kestring falling to the deck. Throw in Ladkill. Settled at the feet. Square, Fowlick. 1-2 from Vlatko, back all the way outside. Holthaus, cross in for Sigurdsson! Yes, sir! That was all it was needed, a little flick, and he got it on target, near post, near corner. 1-0, Warhawks.
3 things happened on that play. 1, AUM gets the ball to Krester's feet at the penalty area. Their target center forward, they get the ball to his feet. My man Hollis makes a great run to the outside to get the crosses that the Warhawks are looking for, and all it takes is Sergensen there in the penalty area, gets a head on it toward the net, and that is all you need. Textbook move there by the Warhawks, textbook play for AUM, and now a textbook lead at 1-0.
So, 16 and a half minutes separate Koch from Win number 200. So now we got to hold fort for AUM, and the Rams, they're going to be coming, but again, that second goal is, let's just say the next goal should have come. That'll be the decider. Obviously, one would tie it up and the other would put the other ahead by 2, but we might see it here. Coming off, here's Vlatko, the strike, oh, just missed it by inches. Well, that would have been an upper 90 goal from distance. 2 different types of goals right away. That would have been nice for the Warhawks.
Huge momentum in AUM's favor. We'll go back to our key to the game, mental toughness. Does Mobile pack up shop, get on the bus, and go back home, or do they fight here? And right now, all the momentum on AUM's side of the field. Don't expect the Warhawks just to go into prevent mode right here and pack things in. They're going to keep playing the way they know how to play. If you've ever watched any German soccer whatsoever, the aggressiveness, the intensity is always there for 90 minutes.
Well, there's a pass that gets intercepted, and getting up forward is a defender. Oh, and a late play. Defender gets elbowed right there, and
I believe it's targeting and a 15-yard penalty in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
But a tough character.
Well,
that
Kaiser.
is the Kaiser, and he gets up and seems to be okay. I mean, he took a shoulder to chin. And now he's going to collect himself and throw this ball in for his teammates. Unbelievable.
Well, the mental toughness now gets put on the back burner for physical right there. And, well, we saw it a couple times in the midfield. Those missing links between Rams is just not working right now. And that might be the source of their problems. Didn't score after a week off.
And again, I said this in the first half, and I want to say it again here. Even if Mobile comes up short in this contest, and even if from an outsider's perspective, their struggles continue in terms of wins or losses, this is a different team than what I was expecting here today. From what I'd heard across some of the other coaches, from what I had seen on film, they played at a high caliber level here today. And Rob, again, I think if this result stands, this goes back to our conversation earlier. This is the Southern States Athletic Conference, the SSAC, or the Super Soccer Athletic Conference. This is a tough conference. You've got to grind it out. You've got to have your best game every single day. And I simply say that grind has simply caught up to Mobile, who was essentially the runner-up in the national championship last year.
Sort of like it's still lingering from that aspect on the program side. And Sigurdsson wanted to make a run towards goal. Again, darted inside. However, he handled it and it went off of his arm into his toes. So that's why we started going the other way. Now we got a foul against AUM.
And again, as the nation is watching this game here, don't write off Mobile, because Mobile won the regular season last year, didn't even make it to the conference championship game. It was Belhaven and AUM, and then all of a sudden Mobile just appears in a national championship game. So even if you don't win a regular season, you're in this conference that's still competitive. Mobile could blink and they'd be in the conference championship game. They could blink twice and be right back where they were in December competing for a national championship.
Well, you can start to see some of the time-wasting tactics starting to get used by AUM, and it's the greatest thing when you're doing it, but when it's happening to you, you just want blood.
And if you don't mind here, Rob, I'll go ahead and get on my soapbox here. Why college soccer still uses a clock that counts down is beyond me. It is a way to keep the soccer game in control. The games don't run on. This is the only association or organization in the entire world that still starts at 45 minutes and count down to 0, and the official clock is kept on the scoreboard. Not even the horrible MLS uses that format anymore. I think it's an aesthetic to soccer that you really don't know when the game is going to end. With stoppage time, with injury time, and the official time being kept on the field is one of the beauties of soccer. Don't take that away by having the clock count down on the scoreboard.
Couldn't agree with you more. This isn't the 70s. This isn't the 80s. Pele has since retired. The Cosmos are in it's still in the NASL, the new NASL. You don't need the countdown clock anymore, and people have found out. Adapt to the European game, and people are still going to like it. Here's a cross in there from Sigurdsson. Oh, what a save by Augergon. Fingertip save just to poke it over the bar, and that is a game saver for the moment.
Well played there by Follick on the back door, well played there by Christian on the back door. Just put it up and away from the goalkeeper, had a chance to go in, and makes a phenomenal save.
Well, despite the clock counting down, it still runs just like every other league in the world. Beautiful, beautiful way to have it run. It's the opposite way, but we'll take it. Whatever.
And here's the point I'll make.
And Sigurdsson intercepts the ball. Lowell steps in front, though, and played forward.
Here's the point I'll make. We saw it at the end of the women's game here.
Yeah.
Not that we didn't broadcast it, but we saw it at the end of the women's game here where AUM had a threat into the box in a 1-1 ball game, the chance to win it literally at the buzzer. But because literally the seconds were counting down and everybody in the park knew it, AUM frantically just sent the ball forward. The young girl had an opportunity to put it in the back of the net, but just panicked and kicked it and missed a goal. If you really don't know how much exact time is left in the game, the official can let that play out, let it continue, and let it be played as the game of soccer is supposed to be played. And AUM, who knows, could have buried that ball at the end of regulation. We never would have had overtime, and they never would have lost the game.
Saw it in the first half here as well. We saw
Exactly.
Sigurdsson almost boot one home, but he panicked, had the volley, and he just twisted his foot half second, maybe a second too early, and he didn't get it onto his boot, and it sailed on him with 2 seconds left on the clock. So there's your argument right there. Still, though, AUM in control of it, and flat-footed, I guess. Kestring had an open lane to go to goal and bury the ball and the game. Just didn't make the run right there. Maybe it was, at least from our angle, it was close enough to him that he could have done that, but I don't understand that move right there. And here's a falling down Souza. It's going to open up an opportunity for the Rams. Crossed inside, stepping away, or stepping in the direction of the ball there. Kaiser saves it right there, the freshman, and here comes another cross attempt, blocked, and once again it falls to the feet of Kaiser with a captain's armband, running in the middle of play. Check that, that was Hunhold. Odd to see a freshman captain. But regardless of that, we continue, and Souza will back pass it, and the urgency meter has been kicked up a notch on the side of Mobile. Long, high punt in the air. That'll waste good 5 seconds of time. Still bouncing around. And Mangold gets a hell to that one, and he's wrestling there with Fallick, and Fallick pulls Mangold down. Even then, dead ball committing fouls here, setting up free kicks and getting everybody sets. Another way to waste time, so start fouling more. Sounds counterproductive, but it actually isn't.
Tip your hat here to AUM. A lot of things on the line here in this contest. Obviously a 7-game winning streak. Coach's 200th career win here, trying to avenge some regular season losses to Mobile by landslide victories for the Rams here. 6-0 in conference play, the 9th-ranked team in the NAI, and they handled it they handled the pressure of this contest. Alumni game as well. Some of the old folks back in the house here. So just everything mounted for AUM here, and they've risen. Even if this result doesn't stand here, they've risen to the occasion and defended all of those past accomplishments there. So great effort here by the Warhawks, and hopefully they're rewarded with a win.
Long ball up forward, headed down. Nobody in white there making a run towards goal, and not surprising to see more white shirts playing back now that they don't want to have that quick counterattack hurt them. Long ball up forward. Went off of somebody said, couldn't tell if it was Souza or Dolan, either way. It's in the middle. Warhawks with possession. Silva. Quick little dart towards Sigurdsson, who plays a little triangle play with Holhaus, and now Sigurdsson at the end of it takes it to the edge of the box, and it's tipped off the leg of Lowell, who blocked the lane for Sigurdsson towards goal. Now Ayati crosses the stripe, steps over, and trying to step and foul him right there. Latko doesn't, but Ayati misses any contact right there. There's a cross diving, and then there's the rebound. Oh, what a save again. Still in the box. And the shot blocked again by the keeper. And right at the byline, it gets cleared off that line. Wow, 3 chances. Here's another long drive. Punched. Oh, and a mishandle. Score! Oh, what a miscue. It's leveled 1-1. Who could have saw that coming?
just as I was getting ready to crown Jurgensen the player of this game, making back-to-back phenomenal saves for his team, he mishandles the lollipop that slipped between his fingers as the All-American doesn't deserve to give up that goal, the game-tying goal after that wonderful effort. But what a fantastic thought for Mobile just to put something on frame to put in the back of the net. And we've got ourselves a brand new ball game here late in the contest.
6.5 minutes to go. Our clock's just a little off because we control it, and with this game going on and how physical it is, it's hard to even notice it. That's another reason why just need to get that running clock up. Find me an advantage for the countdown clock, and with the benefit of saying, oh, we know when the time's going to end. Well, it took a while to get the whole population educated the way how we play our football, this version of football. Make them learn it.
Nice. Is that Sebastian?
Lofted 1-2 into the box. Ooh, and that stayed on side. Thought there might have been that possibility of the dart way too early, and here comes Mobile, who might suddenly win this, but not according to Kroger, who's now running at play. He's got Sigurdsson, leaves it for him, and he'll switch the field. Darting inside the box, stepping over right there. Here's Sigurdsson with a goal! Score! Oh, Sigurdsson gets it back for his team. Good grief. Well, now it's easier to give Sigurdsson man of the match right there. Created that opportunity, linked up with his teammate perfectly. Fallick was the other man who was stepping over. All of a sudden, everybody in the box in Burgundy forgot about Sigurdsson, and he had one teed up, ready to go on targets, puts it right in the exact spot. This time he gets it with his foot instead of his head.
You hit the nail on the head there, Rob. Sigurdsson created the opportunity. He finished that opportunity. Tip your hat to Fallick, though. How many guys get into the box with the ball at their feet, shoulder square to the net, defender in their face, and they just hold on to it? So many times you see him want to make a move, step over fancy, get on my right foot, bend it around the goalkeeper, and put it aside it. He just held, knew his teammate was coming, saw the train delivered right in front of the tracks, and nailed it home. Did Sigurdsson. Fantastic play there by Falk. Probably his best assist of the season.
Use the KISS method. Keep it simple,
Absolutely.
stupid. Well, works out right there. Justice is done. And Koch is now 5 minutes away from win number 200 in the NAIA. Win 89 with Montgomery. Was the coach of the women's team to start off before taking the helm of the men's squad. And see nothing but success really anywhere he's gone.
Go, Sebastian.
Winning percentage of almost 59%, which in sports is pretty darn good.
No, in soccer that's very impressive because you got to consider in soccer they include the draws. It's wins divided by games played. So it's not like football or basketball where it's cut and dry. If you won 70% of your games, it's a 7-3 record. In soccer, 60% win percentage is absolutely phenomenal. And this is going to be bad
penalty!
News. This is going to be bad news.
Well, that should be a PK as Lowell was darting in there at speed, got elbowed, and some debate there is whether or not that could have been a red card, displaying denying a goal-scoring opportunity, but there were just too many bodies in there, and that's correctly a yellow card, not a red card, and I think that's not going to be a PK. It was just outside the box now that I see it. Now the exact spot in the mark where Lowell went down.
Rob, I'm going to correct you there. There is zero intent for the soccer ball there in that charge, and I'm not sure that should have been a red card.
That is also the other debating point. But again, the referee's got to see that. He's got to see that ill intent right there to go right there. Plus, I mean, the whole denying the goal scorer opportunity takes away the recklessness of it. But here's Ayati. He's also got another teammate to help him out. And here's Alofted trying to loop it, bend it around. And just by a few inches, Ayati, hands in head. Heads in hand. And in frustration, that was a golden opportunity. Thought there would have been a PK at first. But again, kind of hard to tell from sitting down that it was just outside the box. So thought Long had earned his team essentially a free throw. Pun intended, I guess.
It might have been, you always get that one last best effort, that last chance to try to tie a ball game in a soccer game. And if you're Mobile, you hope that wasn't it.
Well, I mean, it's still a lot of time just underneath that, and a foul is committed there. Going up in the air diagonally, that's usually a telltale sign. It's going to be a kick here for the goalkeeper, and likely everybody's going to be going forward from here on out. There's a corner late in the final minute. You might see the goalkeeper come forward, but right now it's going to be played forward, and Ottergon launches it forward, but he doesn't find a teammate's head. Instead, he gets 50-50 ball that in the air. That's not a foul. Ball got there first. As looks can be deceiving. Here's Ayati with a little bit of space, and it's quickly closes up on him, and he's still working his way through traffic against two, looking for help, and looked like it got ball from here, but we're pretty far away, so hard to tell if that exactly should have been.
No, I had to go through the attacker to get to the ball there. That's a good foul call.
Now we got gamesmanship as the wall, 10 yards. Needs to be the amount, and it's nowhere near that.
Good job of the linesman on the far side here, trying to get 10 yards for Mobile, and the defender there, Kaser, was not given 10 yards, so he actually was able to give his buddy, the center official, the signal to stop the clock, and rightfully so here.
Yeah, you just want to keep it moving, I would think, but just gives more time for Mobile to set up. Here's it in the box, and having his arm wrapped around there, that was, I think it was Steindorsen who had a defender have his arms wrapped around him. That's normally a bad play, and there's a flip forward for Sigurdsson. He's going to be 1v1 with the goalkeeper if he hurries, but Sean Brown's going to catch up to him, and Sigurdsson with the hat-trick attempt. No, he got the pipe. Wow. That would have certainly been number 200, but inches. This game has all been about inches.
And opportunities. When you get those opportunities, capitalize when it comes down to inches.
Well, we're under 2 minutes to go. Throw-in comes down towards the goalkeeper. We're going to be Mobile's throw. They'll play it up forward. Here's Lowell, who's going to get up into the attack. He's got a man on him, as Silva was 1v1 with him. Now a 1-2. Now here comes Lowell with pace. He can really fly. 100 seconds to go, and tears up some of the turf here. It has been wet. Not quite. There's a tackle attempt that slows his progress, and Kroger wins the ball. Textbook there. And he clearly has been injured, and he is wiggling around down there as AUM won't kick the ball out because they can just waste more time by doing that. Under a minute and a half, Sigurdsson. So the referee doesn't blow the whistle. And really, it's up to that choice, and he's down rolling around. This is a lot longer than what you'd expect. 60 seconds to go. Now here comes an attack. If there's a goal here, there will be a riot. Messiah kicks it, and it goes off of a, I think he was aware of that and decided to do the sporting thing. Try across. If there was somebody there, it goes off a defender. You've earned your team a corner. 54 and 2/10 seconds on the clock. And, man, considering the wiggling right there and the way that Kroger was flailing around on the ground like that, would have thought that it would have been a dead play there. There's some displeasure with really on both sides there for a couple reasons, and one way or another. I don't think you could fake that, but Kroger's back up. He's going to stay in the game, and the man will sit. Is that Flacco or is that Hoonhold? I can't tell. The 6 and the 8 are so similar. It's going to be Sebastian Flacco. Is Hoonhold still on the field, and it's going to be a goal kick. As all the changes are waiting to be made here. And it'll be 54 and counting when the ball's put back in play. High. Ball up in the air, volleyed up, and again, it's going to be a head battle. And Sigurdsson checks behind him, shields the ball, and for Estevez, he tried to get around that one. It stays with AUM. Referee stops the clock, so there's no more. That just, no, you take it. Oh, yeah, I'll take it. No, you. I insist. Kroger to throw it in for AUM. Clock restarts again with 30 on it. Sigurdsson wins a header. Now a lifted ball in the air. Mangold's going to have to head it towards his keeper. He flicked it. Now that one last push-up. 20 seconds from 200 for Wolf Koch. But the Rams have something to say about that. Here's Steindorsen at pace, recklessly going in there, and Steindorsen fouls his man. I guess not, and that's it. So that'll do it. Final seconds, and it's official. Wolf Koch has won 200 games and becomes the 19th head coach overall, active coach overall, to have 200 wins. His fifth stop, and he got it done as AUM still undefeated in the SSAC, Southern States Athletic Conference, or as we've been talking about all day, the Super Soccer Athletic Conference in Mobile. Their struggles continue. They've now lost 4 out of 6. So they fall to 7-6. Well, Montgomery heads up into the double digits. The 9th-ranked team in the NAIA is now got a 10-4 record, no draws. And it comes here on a Saturday afternoon. It's been a little soggy, but a win's a win, and that's 200.
Great job here by AUM. A lot of the things they had to deal with, being the 9th-ranked team in the country, defending that number, getting coaches' 200th career win, dealing with the adversity from Mobile, having lost their last couple of regular season games by a lopsided margin. Mobile being the national champion, runner-up last year. AUM 7-game winning streak. They dealt with all of that stuff here today and rightfully rose to the top in a 2-1 victory.
Well, AUM will celebrate 200 as that clock struck 0, as we were talking about in the last quarter of an hour of the game. We mentioning the countdown rule. If it would be changed, it would be, of course, the discussion would start at the convention, the NSCAA convention. So with that in mind, you can join us for soccer's biggest party on January 15th through the 19th in Philadelphia. Network and learn with your coaching peers, administrators, referees, business leaders, players, and fans at the 2014 NSCAA convention. No other event matches the excitement and energy of these jam-packed 4 days. Visit nscaa.com/convention for details. Be sure to register today. Also for the NSCAA, we also like to remind you that you can watch live stream games, rankings, releases, reviews, and more on nscaa.com, but you can join us every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern to tune in and join the weekly college highlights and ranking show. There's nothing like this anywhere else, and you can only see it on nscaatv.com. Now, all conferences, all NCAA, NAIA, you're going to see that at nscaatv.com. Also need to remind you about Turbo's Pro Combine. And if you're aspiring to be a professional soccer player or looking, annual Turbo Pro Soccer Combine offers top collegiate soccer players in the nation with an opportunity to showcase their talents from college and professional clubs from all over the nation. More than 180 players have attended in the last 2 years, and more than 35 have signed contracts at the pro or pro development level. And you can learn more about that at turbosportsgroup.com. And that's who brought you today's match in the game of the week. And also for Turbo, you can also purchase a video download of any contest of this Fall Game of the Week series by heading to our website at turbosportsgroup.com. Make the order, and Turbo will send you an email with a download link, and the game will be yours and forever. Will be yours in full forever once you make the purchase. And also on Twitter, you can keep up with every piece of the action from the NAIA soccer and all broadcasts on NSCAATV.com all season long by following the Turbo Sports Group on Twitter, by following us on Twitter at Turbo Sports. And one more for you. Just need to remind you that you can catch a full slate of top 25 NAIA men's programs and key matchups each week provided by Turbo Sports, with 19 of the 25 teams in the top 25 polls being featured in Game of the Week on NSCAATV.com. And it should continue to be a great series of matches as the season winds down. Now, the next broadcast will boast two national powerhouses once again next Saturday when Columbia College travels in-state to take on a top 10 opponent, Hannibal LaGrange. That's next Saturday, October 26th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And at the same time on the East Coast as well, two teams will be on showcase when Georgia Gwinnett heads up to North Carolina to take on Montreat College at 3 p.m. Eastern. That's in Asheville, North Carolina. As well, that should do it for all of us here at Turbo. Wolf Koch gets win number 200 in the NAIA. And, well, it was dramatic. All the goals coming in the final quarter hour of the game. And, well, it's been a pleasure. I'm Rob Greisinger, my color guy and producer Matt Mahoney. I'd like to thank the cameraman Scott Cheney for braving it out up there in the wind and rain for at least the early part. And the executive producer and president of Turbo Sports Group is Chase Neidig. So, you've been listening to live coverage of the 2013 National Men's Soccer Game of the Week presented by NSCAA and Admiral Soccer. Good night.